Welcome back to Myst 3. In the last episode, went through the jungle world of Idana, and from that, I got this symbol on this piece of paper. I always thought it kind of looked like a cherry with a little flower on it. And then we came back to Jananan in the observatory here, where the Narayan book is still locked up in a little cage. So now what I'm going to do is put this on that, and that should open the cage. There we go. And we have another message from Savidra.
This what you expected, Atris? When you followed me here hoping to reclaim Relation? Is this classroom what you expected to find? I read your journal, you know. In Tamana, after I found your linking book abandoned outside this observatory, I read all about the Dunning. How you started their world again. Can you really do that, Atris? After everything that's happened to Narayan, could you start their world over again? I don't think so. I think there's too much blood on our hands, too many ghosts. Surely you can't change that with a pen stroke. One more symbol, Atris. Narayan is waiting.
You know, I'm pretty sure if you just talked to Atris, he would be more than happy to at least try and fix the damage that Sirius and Akanar did to Savidra's home world. But, yeah, we're well past that. But Savidra makes an interesting point about, you know, his people's history and all the stuff that they've been through, and how Atris probably couldn't do what he did with the Dunny civilization for the people of Narayan. But it's kind of really similar. You know, the Dunny civilization like collapsed. I think there's a series of, I think there's 3 books, like actual novels written about, you know, like Atris and the Dunny, and they're like prequels to the Myst series, the games, and it goes into more detail about what happened and how the civilization kind of collapsed and how things ended up being the way they are. But I never actually got around to reading them. I think I have 2 of the books on my shelf over here right next to me, actually. I want to say I have 2 of the 3 books that there are. So, anyway, that's a whole other discussion for a whole other time. And we need to get the symbol from Amateria, which I have already opened up here. So we're just gonna jump right into this book. And now we're in Amateria. So I believe I mentioned before, this age, the lessons in this age were all about, like, physics and natural forces and, you know, things like that. How they kind of hold an age together if you do things right. You know, like, because it was all about writing ages and stuff for Sirius and Akanar to learn how to do that. So this age was supposed to demonstrate, you know, various physics experiments and things that can be done. So, yeah. Also, from a purely aesthetic standpoint, this was always my favorite age. Like, I really liked Idana and like the atmosphere in Voltaic, but this one, I just think this one looks the coolest. You know, with all the hexagonal pillars, which I think is actually based on. There's like a place in like Europe, I think, where there's like natural stone formations that grow in like hexagons like this, and it's really cool. You know, people like to argue that geometric shapes don't happen in nature. They absolutely do. And right now we're just kind of exploring around because I remember the puzzles from this age for the most part, don't remember the layout. So we're just gonna go along a path and see what we find. Pretty green little ponds here. Oh, okay, this is not powered up, never mind. Does that turn it on? It does. Okay. So, this is the puzzle that I mentioned before that I... Oh, there we go. That I originally had mistaken for more of a math puzzle than a physics puzzle. As a child when I first played... Well, not... No, it was... Yeah, it was the last time I played this game. I thought this was a more mathematically involved puzzle than it turned out to be. So, it's... You know, I completely misunderstood the lessons of this age. It is not about math, it is about physics. So what we have to do is if we pull the other lever, the one on the side, it's going to drop a ball of crystal on a track. It's going to roll down this way, and, you know, we have to balance this little kind of seesaw thing here to make sure that it goes through correctly. Otherwise, it will break somewhere along the way. And the way we do that is by assembling a counterweight that is the approximate. See, what I thought we had to do was make one equal to the weight of the crystal. So, ideally, you know, you would put 4 pieces of crystal on here. Well, no, because the ball is actually part wood. So, in Savidro's hideout in Jananan, did I write that down? I should have written that down. I didn't write that down. I forget what the measurements are, the weight ratios. Oh, that's not good. Did I take a picture? Maybe I took a picture. Let's see. Phone. Did I take a picture? Nope, I did not. Well, that is unfortunate. I might have to go back to Jananan and take another look at those, look at the, there's a couple of scales that had different materials weighed against each other. But some of these quarters of the sphere are broken, so we can't use an exact measurement. But what you have to do, what I never considered the last time I played this game and I was trying to work out the math of how that would add up, I completely ignored this whole center panel because I just had it in mind that you had to set the, let's skip that. You just had to keep it in the middle because obviously, you know, it's gonna stay balanced. And you had to make a ball that was equal to the weight of the crystal ball that's going to roll through the track. What you have to do is use basic physics, and if you move the pivot all the way to the right and make the counterweight double the weight, it will only pull it down half as much. And then the ball will go through no problem. But right now, because there's no counterweight, it's just going to drop the ball and it's going to shatter at some point. There it goes. So that ball rolls in, and then it just shatters. This is the ball that you want the weight to, that you're measuring the weight of the counterweight against. So it looks like it's a totally wooden ball. I think there's somewhere else you see it from another angle and it tells you what it's actually made of, though. But unfortunately, I made a tremendous mistake by not noting down the weight ratios. I swear I wrote that down somewhere, but it's not on my page of notes here. All I have in my notes is the color code to get into the voltaic book and the steam valve notes for the other puzzle in voltaic. Where was the Jananan book? It's over here. Okay. Quick trip back to Jananan. But we get to hear the linking sound again, so that's always fun. Okay. I need to go back. Yeah, I think the quickest way is going to be taking the elevator down. If I can do that from this side. Yes, I closed the door behind me. We're going in. And there's the lever. There we go. So this will take us right back down to Savitro's little hidey hole. Skip the transitions. Skip out. And okay, so here we are. So 1 crystal equals 4 wood. So that is something I need to write down. Or I guess I could take a picture of it, but I think writing this one down is more accurate. So 1 crystal equals 4 wood. Right. So the crystal is the same amount of weight as 4 units of wood. And I think there was another one over here. Yeah. So 1 metal ball is the same as 4 crystal. 1 metal equals 4 crystal. So by that logic, 1 metal equals 16 wood. Yeah. I don't think that's not part of the puzzle, I don't think, but well, actually, it might be part of the puzzle. There's a little bit of math involved, but it's not as math intensive as I mistakenly believed it to be. It's more about the physics of the simple machine of the lever. Okay, let's get out. Send the elevator back down. Skip, skip, skip. Back out the door. Yes, I'm closing the door behind me. At least in this one, they automatically do that for you. None of that BS about, oh, the path forward was behind the doors you just opened and didn't close behind you. Okay. So now that I have that very important information, I can actually do some stuff here. I thought there were journal pages up here somewhere, but maybe not. And speaking of journal pages, I think to solve the puzzles in Narayan, you have to actually go through the journal that Atris gave you while he was writing Relation. Because I think in this one he talks about going to the ages from Jananan and remembering the lessons and stuff for like inspiration. So I think that's where you translate what the symbols actually mean when that comes up again in Narayan. I might be mistaken about that, but we'll see that when we get there. I'm pretty sure there were journal pages somewhere down here. Anyway, let's go do the one thing that I specifically remember how to do. So... oh. Actually, I think I just remembered where you see the ball from the other side. It's up this elevator. Maybe? Oh, yeah, it's definitely up here. There's the ball. Okay. So, it's divided into 8 pieces. Each one is each half of the ball is divided into quarters. So, it's 4 wood on the bottom, 3 on the top, and 1 crystal. So... pen. So if I draw a circle here, divide it into 4s. So 1 is crystal, 3 are wood. And then I draw another circle, and those are all wood. I'm pretty sure that's right. So that's the counterweight to what we're gonna have to... oh, there's the pages. Okay, let's read this real quick. My attempts to produce a carnivorous hybrid have had limited success. I thought I was making greater progress, but the life that grows in the forest isn't like the plants on Orion. It's much more tenacious, less susceptible to grafts. Perhaps if I try mixing in species from the swamp? So, Civijo's talking about messing around with stuff in Idana. Because the whole point of this is that he wanted Atris to follow him and, you know, go through the worlds and learn his lessons over again, I guess. But Civijo changed the puzzles around a little bit, so to make it more difficult for Atris to follow him. So he was talking about changing stuff in Idana, I think. Trying to make the plants more dangerous, I guess, or something. I don't know. So let's go back in here. So we have 2 pieces of wood that can go here. And we have 1 crystal. So we need 1 more piece of wood to make it equal. But we can't do that, because we don't have the material we need. So what we can do is make it twice as heavy. So let's see. 1 crystal is 4 wood. 1 metal is 4 crystal. So if I just put... well, let me think this over. So, the ball up, the counterweight, or we're making the counterweight, the weight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 7 pieces of wood and 1 piece of crystal. So it's basically the same as 11 pieces of wood. So wood is like the basic unit of measurement. Because that's the smallest one that it goes to. So... excuse me. So 1 crystal is 4 wood, and 1 metal is 4 crystal. So... the ball up top is basically 11 wood, And I need to make it equal to 22 for the counterweight. And I need to do that using these materials I have here. So if one piece of metal is the same as 16 pieces of wood, so right now 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 20. I don't think... No. Let me see. So right now, 16, 17, 18... This is 20. Oh, and I have 2 pieces of wood. Yeah, that's right. So this should be right. So the counterweight is now twice as heavy as the ball. So if I go up here, I have the pivot moved all the way to the right. Yeah. No? Really? That wasn't it. Maybe it's all the way to the left. Oh, yeah, I think that's right, because the counterweight is over on that side already. And that's going to come down and pull it. Okay. I think that was the mistake I made. Let's see. Yeah! Nailed it! And that pulls up part of the track over there. And then it goes back down. Alright. So, yeah, that's one of several puzzles of this sort of nature that I'm gonna have to deal with. I feel like that arrangement of hexagons is important. I am going to take a picture of that, because I don't fully remember what you do with it. There. So yeah, this puzzle was the bane of my existence. And then I eventually came to the realization that it had more to do with the physics than the math, and I was being stupid. And now it's such a simple puzzle, and I got to feel stupid when I realized how simple it actually was. On the lookout for more pages. But let's go onward. Oh, there's Savidro's other painting. The last one, I think. There might be some in Orion, too. But, yeah. More abstract and symbolic than his other works. You can clearly see Cirrus and Achenar in the background, inciting the people of Orion to basically civil war with each other, and Savidro's just caught in the middle of it, freaking out, because he was like the representative of his people to Atris and his family, basically. He was the one who was like, yeah, I'll show you around, teach you all about how my people do things around here. Then Cirrus and Achenar were just like, yeah, what if we didn't do things that way, though? And the people were kind of like, yeah, what if we didn't do things that way? But some of the other people were like, we do things this way for a reason, and we don't want to die because of our traditions no longer keeping things running smoothly. There's nothing over here, question mark? Oh, I forgot all about this puzzle, actually. I don't remember what you do with that one. There's something... There's, like, shields that... They're like sound wave barrier things that shatter the ball when it goes through them, and then you have to, like, time it so that they're off when the ball goes through. I think is how that works, but I need to get up to it. And I don't know if this is the correct path. Oh. Wait, was I up here before? Oh, I had to go a little further. Okay. Alright. Yeah, so there's like sound waves. And each of those makes a different sound. I'm standing in it right now, so everything's shaking. It's probably not good for my eardrums to be standing right in the middle of that, but I'm sure it's fine. Atreus wouldn't put anything super dangerous in these lesson worlds for his sons. Gen probably would have, but Atreus wouldn't do that. I don't remember how this one works. Besides each one making a different sound, there's a way to send a ball through. Through the barriers and turn them off as it comes through. But, well, I'm just continuing onward the hexagonal pillars. I'll come back to that later. I 100% forgot about that puzzle altogether. I remember the other two main ones, though. Like, I know how that one works. And, of course, I remembered the ball and weight puzzle. Does this open? It does. Oh. Okay. Maybe I can do this one from here. Going up. Okay, so I have these pegs, and each one of these slots corresponds with a, one of these... Okay, so apparently a sign on my door saying that I'm recording and please do not disturb is, you know, just not enough to keep me from being disturbed while I'm recording, so... Anyway. Yeah, so a ball is going to come down a track here, and it's going to land in one of these little holders, and then as they rotate, it's gonna pop over to the other side. And these pegs control which one pops where, I think? Well, this is a very heavily trial and error puzzle, kinda, so let's just see what happens if I don't put any of the pegs in. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And it does nothing. And then it poofs. Okay. So, right. When the peg hits the bottom slot, that's when it pops over. So it's going to come down the track. I didn't see which one it went into first. That's kind of important. So yeah, let's skip that. Okay. So it starts in the bottom of the right one. No, right? Or the... So it starts there. So what I want to do is get it to... If it pops into an empty hole, it just goes into the water, and then you have to start over. So what I need it to do is get it into that one. So I need that to be lined up. That's the middle. The perspective is kind of throwing me off. So the bottom one to the bottom one, second one to that one to that one, that one to that one? Well, let's just put some in and see what happens. Okay, so it does start in that one. And then it pops to that one. It would be amazing if I got it right the first time just by randomly putting them in. So then that one pops over to there. And then that one onto that one. And that's just going to rotate back. And then it will explode. Okay, so I didn't do that right. So it starts in the bottom one. I want it... starts in the bottom one. And then I want it to immediately pop over. So, this one. So the next one it hits will pop over to that side. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that one. And then so it'll pop over to this one. I don't think... Wait. Alright. So then it immediately pops. Boop. And then... Oh, nope. That's off. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so that's, I had one of those right. So that will make it rotate until it pops over to this side. So then 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's gonna be in this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That one. And that will pop it over to here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? I don't think that's right. Let's see if that's right. Boop. And then immediately... Oh, it rotates the other way. Okay. That was... Yeah, so they rotate opposite of each other. I should have noticed that the very first time I ran that. Okay. Well, I'm working this out. I've already solved one of the 3 major puzzles of Amateria, so I think next time I will, at the very least, finish with this puzzle, and I'll figure out how to get to the other one that I had completely forgotten about, and go about solving that one.